told you that Ambazonians are giving up? Greetings, everyone. Liberation greetings to all the people of Ambazonia, and greetings to all Southern Cameroonians, wherever you may be. Today is Thursday, and this Thursday is March 30. We're just one day left with the month of March, the year 2023. And my name is Comrade John Akuro. And I'm here today for us to have a very important conversation regarding our liberation movement. There are certainly things that are going on that we don't all like, but there are approaches we must take in addressing some of these difficulties or some of these challenges. And so during today's program or during today's broadcast, we are going to have an opportunity to examine some of those things that are not going on well and that we need to together work as a people to kind of overcome. There must be a method, there must be an approach, and there must be a strategy in ensuring that we overcome challenges that also have the potential to, bring confusion, bring disruption, or slow down our move towards total freedom. And that's why I'm sharing this thought with us. It says, thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. And if you just go down memory's lane, think of, your attitude, I beg your pardon, towards a lot of things and towards a lot of people in this liberation movement, you will come to the conclusion that, quite candidly, we are becoming too judgmental than really thinking, such that when we reach out to our various comrades, we should be proposing ideas. We should be bringing, solutions to issues that are quite teething on the ground. Too often in this liberation movement, we condemn not with the view to fix. We condemn with the view to destroy, with the view to break, with the view to dement, and with the view to simply cast aspersions and then let them look at somebody like as if that person is simply a demon. Whereas we need to be able to criticize with the view to fix, criticize with the view to get us to continue our motion. So my people of Ambazonia, over the past few weeks, I've heard a lot of attacks to my person, even during meetings and all of those things. I've had some of those kind of, I should call them sometimes even vicious questions directed at me, but I don't have any issues answering to questions. And the issue has been, Mr. Akuro, you hail from Mogamo, you are from Batibo, and particularly from Ashong, where the ADF has its headquarters. And they are carrying out a lot of exactions on the people. What are you saying about this? Some have come out outrightly to say that I'm paying a deaf ear because together with comrades Yerima and Prizo, we are trying to, pamper. We are trying to pamper Comrade Ayaba of the Egg of Sea, whose forces are creating all this havoc on the ground that they don't know what we are really afraid of, to, call him out. And the shouts have really been so loud in the past few days. And I've listened to this with bated attention. At meetings, I've had the opportunity to respond to the people. Listen, my people of Ambazonia, this liberation movement is not the only one where you have certain things happening which we don't like, or some people going overboard. It has happened in several liberation movements before ours. And let us go back to thinking exactly how these issues were addressed. That will give us a better approach in addressing our challenges. That said, I'm not oblivious to what is going on in Mogamo, to what is going on in Batibo with the ADF and the population and the accusations coming out of there. At least I had this chart sent to me, not today. Some people may be seeing it today. I had this chart sent to me about 2 weeks or more ago. And when I got this chart, I reached out to Comrade Cho Ayaba. And we had a conversation around this. And then he promised to come back to me so that, together we should explore ways of overcoming this challenge. And eventually he did come back. He kept his word, he came back. And on that occasion, we had the opportunity to get General Efan on the line. And when we had General Efan on the line, we tried to understand exactly what was going on. And after that conversation, or at the end of it, we made some recommendations. And after making those recommendations together with Comrade Joe Ayaba, who agreed to follow up. And then we also I came to that conclusion that it will make a lot of sense for me to reach out to the people in the various communities. Because at some point, I had videos shared with me of people in the community saying they particularly agreed to these collections and that they felt that it made sense to contribute for self-defense. But I wanted to know, was it coercion? Were they forcing you to do it or not? But since I couldn't interact with those people that I saw in the videos, I decided to go to the ground myself. When I say go to the ground means I sent my own people in Ashong, I sent people in Guzang, and I sent people in Besiawom. And unknown to you, there have also been complaints coming in from Kendem, from Mbeme, from Kekpoti, that is on the boundary between Widikum local government area and Manu County. And so, when I looked at this chart, you see the men 15,000, women 5,000, youths 10,000, chiefs 50,000, quarterhead 30,000. Quarterhead is not a profession. And so I had therefore to take time, settle down with these committees that I got created in these 4 areas, so they come back to me with exactly what their findings are, so I get first-hand information from the ground. Because I don't, and I have refused deliberately to depend only on propaganda that comes on social media. Because some of the audios that come on social media with people crying, oh, we are dying in Batibo, we are being killed in Batibo, I trace some of those audios to people based in the diaspora, based in America, based in Europe, some based in Nigeria, others based in Ghana, who will do these audios and send it out and give you the impression that they are talking on the ground, either in Ashong, in Guzang, in Besi, in Besiawom, or even in Kendem. And sometimes when you go out to, cross-check and find out whether what they are saying is actually the reality, you find that there's a big gap between what is in some of these audios that seem too alarmist and exactly what is happening on the ground. So, after getting the findings from these 4 committees that I arranged to set up in Ashong, in Besiawom, in Guzang, and then in these 3 villages, Kendem, Mbeme, and Kekpoti, because there was one committee there, I now have enough information in my hands to be able to have a serious and sustained conversation with Comrade Ayaba and the people of his team, so that together we will find a lasting solution to this problem. This is what normally we do at the level of leadership. It is not by coming to rant here. I have access to Comrade Ayaba. I can call him at any time. I can talk to him at any time. There was a time that we couldn't talk. Not now anymore. Since we all found ourselves on the same platform, the Southern Cameroon Stakeholders platform, we have been cooperating. We have been collaborating. We talk on a regular basis. He reaches out and asks, is there anything, any way we can approach this problem? I reach out to say, I have set people and they are working and they will bring me findings. And when those findings come in, I will call you so that together we try to make sure we get a sustainable solution to this problem. I have all those findings in. I reached out to Comrade Ayaba this morning. I was unable to get him. I guess by the time I got to him, he might have been at work. But I've left him word, reach out to me as soon as you are able to make time today so that we now delve into this problem and make sure we get a definitive solution. Now, if I come on here, oh, Comrade Ayaba is an idiot. Oh, Comrade Ayaba, he's a killer. He's just an extortionist. He's a criminal. How does that help? It wouldn't help my people. And when you reach out to me, It hurts me when I reach out to you, begin by saying, but you know you are from Ashong, you are from Mogamo. You have to, if anything is happening to anyone, anywhere in Ambazonia, I am concerned. I don't have to be concerned only when it happens in Mogamo, only when it happens in Menemo, only when it happens in Momo. I have to be concerned, and I've generally been concerned when it's happening in Gokotunjia, when it's happening in Bui, when it's happening in Meme, when it's happening in Dian, when it's happening in Fako, when it's happening in Kupeng Wanenguba. That is the spirit. We are supposed to be looking, we are coming out of a system that has generally been run elaborately around tribalism, ethnicism, and the likes. We have to depart from this, even as we're in a determined march towards freedom. We have to get away from this. Let me be clear here. La République du Cameroon itself faces a lot of challenges on the field. The various actors have problems. They're losing soldiers on a daily basis more than anyone can know. But what are they doing? They are concealing it. So no matter how much they are trying to look for strategies that will cause them to conceal some of these things, because they don't want to discourage their population. They don't want their population to get into some kind of, into some kind of hysteria. So they manage that information, they manage this crisis, they manage these difficulties in a kind of way. What is the use for me coming up to continue to intensify an alarm when I know I can resolve it from behind, and then it gives us the possibility to continue to prosecute our liberation movement normally? We are bound to have people, to have actors in this liberation movement who can go overboard. These are people who are carrying sticks. We have to have a way in handling this situation. And this is not the first instance where I've come in to try and help to handle situations. I've worked with various communities on the ground to see how to strengthen relations between the self-defense volunteers and the civilian population in several areas. Today, the situation is imbattable. I definitely will do the same as I've been doing everywhere else. Even while I was still searching, way back on February 28th, people reached out to me from various communities in Mogamo to say there is a new phenomenon coming up. And they even advanced names of young girls who decide to get so close to the to the self-defense volunteers. I don't want to say that they entertain carnal relationships. Perhaps that's what they do. They get so close, and then they begin using their vantage position on those relationships to settle scores in the various neighborhoods, to settle scores in various areas. I had some names sent to me, especially from this gentleman said he was actually talking from from Kugwe. This Kugwe, and I know we've heard a lot about Kugwe. So he advanced to me a number of names, and I decided I will not just hear from you and go out there after these persons, because it will be doing exactly what we are condemning those people of doing. So I need to carry out investigations. Make sure by the time I name you, I know exactly that you are carrying out that act. And it is the case today with a young lady known as Mba Christensia Almini. I mean, she's fair-skinned and she's in the quarter called Njizo in Kugwe. Everyone that I've talked to in that area, in her case, they confirm that she is absolutely involved with using the freedom fighters, using her closeness to the freedom fighters to settle her personal scores or even settle family vendettas. And this is a horrible thing. This is a practice that we have condemned ceaselessly, because this same practice by those we call blacklegs, and of course we did hear I think is it Clovis Nasseri confess to the fact that if they just want to get you done with, they will go tell the Republic du Cameroon military that you are amber, and that is the end for you. There is no other form of investigation or research. So when you stand from your vantage position, create trouble for others, at the end of the day, these exactions are going to be blamed on somebody. I usually will think that as Ambazonians, when we come here, when we settle together to talk, to exchange, let us function in a way that preserves, one, the integrity of our liberation movement, and number two, we don't get to that alarmist point where we even end up succeeding in scoring the adverse effect or getting the adverse impact of our messages. And this is absolutely important for me. I know some people get there out of desperation. That is why I don't go back to respond to people who come and attack and say, oh, Mba Akuro is aware of all of this. He's just trying to be protective. He's just trying to be a coward by not talking because they want to pamper. I don't pamper. I don't. That doesn't happen in my life. If you're doubting what I'm saying, listen to this Cameroon politician. He'll be telling you things are happening, but that neither the government nor the media of La République du Cameroon bother to talk about. Why? Because they are concerned about the morale of the people whom they want to continue to motivate to support the genocidal war in Amazonia. I am not saying we should condone bad attitudes. I'm saying we should be able to have methods to address some of these kind of situations that can have the potential not only to dent the image of our liberation movement, but also to demobilize our people. And this is absolutely important. Just listen to this politician.
Avant-hier, on a attaqué l'armée camerounaise avec une bombe artisanale. Une voiture de l'armée a sauté, ça a fait des morts. Les gens qui couraient pour le Mont Cameroun, une bombe a fait. Tu comprends? Ça a tué les gens, ça a tué une femme, ça a blessé les Camerounais. On a kidnappé un homme en tenue. Nous, on n'en parle pas. C'est pas intéressant. On parlait des sénatoriales. C'est fini.
Now, you see, this politician is saying something very interesting here. He's talking about the multiple exploits of our self-defense volunteers, continually inflicting a lot of pain on Mr. Paul Biya's talks in La République du Cameroon, but whom he condemns that they are not talking about it. Nobody is mentioning it. He says men in uniform are picked up, kidnapped daily. There are a lot of them being taken down by IEDs. There are a lot of them being ambushed here and there, being brought down by rocket launchers. Nobody is talking about them. Of course, that's how La République du Cameroon is operating. They feel like if we let the people have a true picture of what is happening on the ground, we are finished. They will turn against us. They find a way to meet the families of a lot of these diseased dogs and have a talk with them. Take this 2 million, this 3 million, conduct a funeral. Please, you see, we just have to keep this thing. In fact, they are fighting and dying in the interest of the nation and things like that. That's what they do. They do that because they want to preserve the morale of their genocidal war in Amazonia. They want to leave the morale of their people strong up there and let them have the feeling that they are succeeding. And they are succeeding even in getting some of our people whom I knew before as diehards of this liberation movement to begin telling me, oh, Mr. Akuro, you see, everything is finished, normalcy has returned. If you send them, say, oh no, look, everything, you people have already failed. And they say, you people, no, we have. You people have already failed and things like that. Listen, my people. La République du Cameroon is in pain. They are bleeding seriously. But they are using all kinds of both orthodox and unorthodox ways to manage the information. It doesn't filter out to the people. That's why they virtually bought the consciences of almost every single news organ in that country to make sure they don't keep reporting every day, oh, 10 soldiers fell here, 15 fell that way. The other day we saw on social media an helicopter, that's a copter, that was, brought down, and they were telling us they laid emphasis, they focused on two people, whose names they even gave. Those are the two people who were wounded, one on the head and the other one where they said they have taken them to the hospital. They never mentioned any deaths. So you have the impression that Either there were only these 2 people who were involved, who were going to Ngarbu, or if there were 6, these were the only 2 who were touched. But the truth about what happened, now I get it. From a soldier who is in Kumbo, who went to the scene, and who is saying he's doing everything possible to leave that place because what his eyes saw, his mouth cannot really tell. He describes at least 6 of his colleagues dead in that particular attack. 6! Did you hear that? No. The only one that people are allowed to filter with that, 2 were grievous with the one on the head and the other. They don't say about the number of deaths. Is it like they're not dying? No, they are in huge numbers. They want to play the psychological game. They want to play, the kind of war propaganda you want. To give the impression to our people that, oh no, you see, people are losing. Some of our people are falling for it. But to give the impression to their people that, oh, we are winning, it will soon be over. Just stay again a little bit. Let's continue to listen to this politician.
La vérité, les journaux n'en parlent pas. Vous devez comprendre que les journaux là appartiennent à des gens qui les tiennent. Comment est-ce que dans un pays normal, on tue un soldat, le lendemain aucun journal titre, aucun journal n'en parle? Même si c'est à coup sur là, on tue 3 moutons seulement. Et les gens vont parler.
So you hear what he says again. He is shocked, he is embarrassed, he is worried that soldiers are falling every day in Ambazonia. Not a single newspaper will talk about it. But he says in Kuseride, if a car was just passing and killed 3 sheep, three sheep, every household will be talking about those 3 sheep that were killed on the road. You see what this man is doing here? He's doing some fantastic thing. He's equating the lives of the soldiers of La République du Cameroon to those of sheep, animals, because that is the way La République du Cameroon is seeing them. But like I said, La République du Cameroon would come here and explain to you that they cannot tell the truth to the people. Because if they tell the truth to the people, they will be abandoned in this campaign in Ambazonia. The people will rise against them. But you see, his interpretation, he's a citizen of La République du Cameroon. The government of La République du Cameroon will now see like, this man, is it normal what he's saying? So it takes me back to what I was talking about just a while ago. If there are situations we can handle in our way, we will handle. Because what La République is doing is warfare politics. But as an Ambazonian, I'll be very excited to have someone like this one make these revelations so that our people know exactly how much pain and damage we are continuing to inflict on La République du Cameroon on a daily basis. So that our people continue to know how much effort we are making in ensuring that the cost of occupation for La République du Cameroon continues to grow. Let's finish up with him.
En route, tu tues 3 moutons avec la voiture. Dans toutes les maisons, les gens vont en parler. On tue un soldat camerounais, on attaque un soldat camerounais avec des engins explosifs. Aucun journal n'en parle. Donc, nous sommes là. Je suis allé quelque part, j'ai causé avec un commissaire dans la zone anglophone. Il m'a dit, tu vois, après le pont là, jusqu'à la frontière, on ne contrôle plus. Moi-même, comme ça, je ne peux pas aller.
So you hear what he's saying? That he has had the opportunity to talk with Mr. Paul Biastocks, to talk with, those Ekelebes from La République du Cameroon who are on our territory. I got to say, I said, you see, as you're standing here and talking with me, this area is somewhat safe. But beginning from here, and especially from that bridge going inward, we have no control over there. I can't even put my leg there because if I step there, I am finished. My name will be death. This is because he has gotten to that ground, to the place where he is standing with these soldiers who can tell you the truth. And that's why even in Bamenda, most of the activities are off station. Meet them there in Bamenda, they will tell you that although we give the impression that no people can talk about their activities, they will bring high security and some CPDM talks will sit down and say, oh, we are celebrating, and then the film and show you say, you see, life has come back to normal. They themselves cannot go downtown in Bamenda and stroll anyhow. They know. A few days ago, it was extremely hot in Gomram. I'm coming back to that. Let's just finish up with him. So he's explaining what we know, But some of our people on the ground get carried away with these images right to the point where they start saying, oh no, this thing has failed. Yes, this generation has already failed. Listen, if we can't appreciate the sacrifices that our brave hearts are making, take the opportunity to listen from someone else telling us. Let's finish up with him.
On n'en parle pas.
Les sons comme ça.
Il y a des villages, des villes, le maire ne peut pas aller là-bas. Les chefs traditionnels n'est pas. Il n'y a aucun conseiller municipal là-bas. Les députés ont fui.
So you hear that? There are villages, there are towns that the traditional rulers have all escaped. They cannot pass back there. Of course, we know. Where's the fun of Kumbo? Where's the fun of So? He cannot stay in Kumbo. He can't. He can't even integrate his palace anymore. He is now, a refugee in Yaoundé. He's a refugee in Yaoundé, distributing titles and all not to people there in Yaoundé as a means of survival. This gentleman, the politician of La République du Cameroon from the north, makes clear that these soldiers tell that there are whole villages, there are whole towns where they can't set their foot there. The traditional rulers have all escaped. Of course, those are the ones who are not with the people, who decide to describe themselves as CPDM and want to stand with the oppressor. They have all escaped. The mayors, which mayors? We don't even have mayors. He's saying mayors because they say themselves that we have mayors. We don't have mayors. All those people are La République du Cameroon appointed officials. He said they have all escaped. He says the MPs, of course we don't have MPs, he says they have all escaped. The councillors, they have all escaped. Nobody, even the jails and others, they only come in with very high security and go back. He says, but nobody will tell you. No newspaper will talk about it. And that is warfare. Let's finish up with him.
L'administration, impôts,
Quoi.
tous ils ont fui. Ils sont en ville, mais on n'en parle pas. On dit que le Cameroun est tranquille. Mais est-ce que le Cameroun est tranquille?
Il n'est pas tranquille.
Si tu veux présider ce pays, tu dois avoir un langage de la vérité vis-à-vis des gens, libre à eux de prendre ou de ne pas prendre.
C'est ça.
Moi, quand je cause avec les jeunes,
So, you heard him. Very unmitigating. Let me take a quick break. Then when I come back, we'll continue in the same vein. Thank you very much, our mothers. Thank you for always reminding us that we have to stay strong. That even in the midst of trouble, in the heart of vicissitudes, we have to continue to stay strong. And so, my heart goes out with our people in Gomram, in Bamenda, because I learned after almost around 16 to 18 hours of, serious exchange of fire between the thugs of La République du Cameroon and our brave hearts. The people felt so disappointed that they did not succeed in, attaining their targets. They had losses, and so they decided, as usual, to descend on the local population, because that is where they always descend. When they touch them, when they deal with them, when this self-defense volunteers make life miserable for them, they turn to the weak target, that is the population. That's where they go and pour out their exactions. I understand a lot of people are getting out of Ngomram right now, those who are able to. So my people of Ambazonia, my heart goes out with our people in Ngomram. Let us know this pain will do its time. And at the end of this pain, we shall see the gain before us all. And I think that will be quite consoling enough. But whatever you can do to assist these our people, to provide them with some succor as they are struggling to get out of Ngomram, please don't hesitate to do that. We must continue to demonstrate that we're a people of solidarity. In the earlier days of this liberation movement, I know that a lot of people developed the ability to share, such that if your house is brought down, at least I can open my doors to you. If your store is brought down and you have no means to feed your family, we'll make sure that we share the little that we have. That is the Ambazonianness that I know. That is the pride that I have in Ambazonia. When I talk of Amber Pride, just take a look at this. I mean, I'm just as proud of you like as this young girl. You see, she took the pains to take our colors, put them on her body and everything. That is the level to which she is proud of this Ambazonia that we are all seeking to take back from La République du Cameroon. This is the level of pride that should be in each and every one of us. With this level of pride, nothing can turn your attention away from the focus, which is Boya. This is what I'm talking about. Yes, this is what we are talking about. So, my heart goes out to people in Gomgam. I'll still be coming to some of the exactions of La République du Cameroon in a little while. But before we go there is a lady in La République du Cameroon, a writer of great renown, who for some time now has come to her senses and is saying some of the things that I have been saying on this platform. Is repeating some of the things that a lot of us in this liberation movement have been repeating to our people to let you understand that when some come and stand in front of you and say, oh, I'm a CPDM section nonsense, oh, I'm minister, I'm secretary of state, I'm director, and oh, no, let us stay in this thing, Bia is the best and everything. They themselves recognize today that their country is living hell. How much more of us who did not have to belong in the first place? They recognize our country is living hell. The last time I showed you one of them crying and said, oh dear, what have we done? Let's listen to Malice Beyala.
En cours dans son pays pour un remplacement du président Paul Biya par son fils Franck à la tête de l'État. L'économie de sa sortie, c'est avec Gladys D.
This is a report on Malice Beyala. We are not going to hear her voice proper, but we'll be seeing Equinox go from post to post that she's put up to show that she is not just disappointed but exasperated with a country that has become a piece of shame before everyone else in the world. The only people that are not seeing it are those in our midst who call themselves federalists. The only people that are not seeing it are those in our midst who call themselves unionists, decentralizationists. Those who are not seeing it are those among us who are still moving around and selling a mirage to us that we should remain with a dead country like La République du Cameroon. We even have no business being there in the first place. We have to do everything to restore our stolen country. But let's follow this rather interesting report.
Si l'écrivaine était jusque-là reconnue pour sa liberté de ton dans ses prises de parole, ces derniers jours, elle évoque sans embâche la succession au pouvoir au Cameroun. Sur son compte Facebook officiel, elle écrit par exemple « Le Cameroun n'est ni un royaume, ni le champ de cacao d'une famille. Il n'y aura aucune succession de père à fils. » Autre morceau choisi, des dernières sorties.
Now, I want to stop here briefly. You can already hear where she is headed. Because some people are even exporting that rubbish called the Frankist movement into our territory. My people of Ambazonia, where are we headed? Where are we headed? The citizens of the Republic themselves are beginning to say, this is rubbish. We can't bear this. This is the kind of Armageddon we want to stay in. Because I've told you on a daily basis, it's not going to be easy. We believe in democracy in Ambazonia. That's why Southern Cameroon was one of the first countries in Africa south of the Sahara to have a functional democracy before 1961. Before 1960, when they started granting independence to some of the countries, where we had a sitting prime minister, and they organize an election and lose and hand over peacefully and gracefully to Foncha. Peacefully peacefully and gracefully. But look at here. You have a setup where somebody having confiscated power for 41 years and counting wants to hand over to his son whose track record is already horrible. Because Frank Biya, anytime you heard about Frank Biya, it was about a scandal. Yes, anytime you heard about Frank Biya, it was about a scandal. I'm not talking from years. I was a journalist in that country for 19 years. When they talk about Campost, people who embezzle, who swindled money from Campost with fake treasury bonds, Frank Biya's name was included. That was 100 million CFA francs disappeared. When they talked about the massive, unrestricted and unregulated felling of timber in the east region of La République du Cameroon, Frank Biya, no development, no road, nothing, no electricity, no hospitals, no schools, nothing in the east, Frank Biya. Anytime you want to hear they dribbled money this way, they play this way, Frank Biya. And that is the person that Biya is preparing to be president of that country after him for another 50 years. And that is what some people want us to stay in. Come on. Give me a break. You may want to doubt my credentials as a pro-independence, should I say, call it whatever names, but I will tell you, I don't ever need validation from anybody. I lived that system firsthand, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's listen to this report again.
C'est le Caliste Beyala. Quand Ahidjo quittait le pouvoir au Cameroun, ce pays possédait 11 avions, y compris des Boeing. Aujourd'hui, pour aller à Paris, il faut emprunter une compagnie étrangère. Plus d'avions.
So, in my last broadcast, when I talked here about air transport and how Paul Biya dilapidated everything and could not even buy himself an aircraft, you could have thought that maybe it's Bakuro, he's just saying those things. This is Calix Beyala, one of them. Calix Beyala is from the Ekang Bulubeti tribe. Yes, Ekang Bulubeti ethnic group. She is the one bursting this abscess, incising it just as I did before. Perhaps when you see it from her now, it will sink. It could make some sense.
Expliquez-moi ce recul de 50 ans. L'écrivaine fait également l'état des lieux du transport ferroviaire au Cameroun en ces termes. À l'époque d'Ahidjo, il y avait 2 allers et retours par jour pour Yaoundé-Douala. On pouvait aller jusqu'à Konsomba en train. Aujourd'hui, il n'y a aucun train pour aller en Konsomba. Quant à Douala-Yaoundé, il y a juste un train à l'aller et un au retour.
So you see, she's examining the transport sector. She finished with air transport where everything is finished. That's backward, not forward. She's moved to rail transport where everything is crushed, not forward, backward. No step forward. Everything is backward, almost to pre-1961. By the time Paul Biya finishes, will already be in 1964. When he hands over to Frank Biya, before Frank Biya does 2 years, we'll be back in 1959. That's exactly what it is. And we don't have to be part of it. No. We don't. That's why I will say Ambazonia for life.
Elle écrit pour conclure ce post, allez encore dire que je mens, comme pour répondre à ceux qui critiquent ces différentes sorties. Ce qui ne semble d'ailleurs pas la ralentir dans son élan. Bien au contraire. Elle poursuit en écrivant. L'avenir du Cameroun doit se réfléchir au-delà d'un clan d'égoïstes confiscateurs du bien-être social qui depuis 40 ans laisse...
So, you see, she is condemning that same egotism. That same egoism that I mentioned in those who call themselves our elite. Oh yeah. Some will come and tell you, oh no, I'm in the CPDM, I'm in the progressive wing. Because, we the progressive... Progressive what? Are there progressive demons in hell? Come on, give me a break. Some will tell you, no, I'm just there because I don't want to pay taxes. Some will tell you I'm just there. But then no. For 41 years and counting, they have tortured our people. And a few among us, less than 1%, joined the oppressor to milk us dry, to destroy our community, to stagnate our growth, to make it impossible for us to have an educational system that trains job creators and not job seekers, to make it impossible for us to have a system of regulation that favors the emergence of a strong private sector and pushes us into dependence on government, to foster the implementation of poverty as a policy in our land. Those are criminals. They are not friends, and that's what Khalid Beyala is calling them out today.
Pour toute nourriture aux Camerounais des cailloux et beaucoup de soleil à boire, nous méritons mieux, car nous sommes un peuple travailleur et coriace. Le Cameroun mérite une expérience politique différente. Et à ceux qui semblent apprécier ces prises de position, Calixte Beyala les invite à prendre publiquement la parole eux aussi. Des Camerounais disent « Nous partageons ta position, madame ». Alors, écrivez cette position.
I want to hold here, because you see, when we read this one together, we say des Camerounais et Camerounaises disent « Nous partageons ta position, madame ». Alors, écrivez cette position. Tous autant que vous êtes. Because why is she saying that while she is being hard on the regime, there are some people at the heart of that system who are enjoying it. They reach out to her and tell her, no, we appreciate what you are doing. What you are doing is correct. We share your thoughts. Yes. Sounds familiar? That's the same thing with our liberation movement. You have those who will come and tell us, you know, we just are going to parliament so that we can fight it from there. We share with you your views. We are all in this together. But you know, we want to use parliament to use as another technique. Thieves, come out, condemn the things that your eyes are seeing. Come out and condemn the exfiltration of 2 university students in Boya from their hostel rooms. One is already tortured to death. The other one is still in jail until today, being tortured for no good reason. Mr. Mbela Moki Charles, you call yourself that you are a senator in Boya. Have I heard your voice? What have you said? Have you raised your voice? Or those 2 boys are sheep? Have I heard your voice? None. This is amazing. And these boys are even here, they come from Balikumbat. Baumi Emmanuel, Dinga, you say you are a member of parliament from Balikumbat. Have I heard you raise your voice? But some of you will hide me and say, no, this thing, we are all in it together. We are all suffering this together. Come out there, say it. That's what Khalid Beyala is saying here. Say it. Because the more the people that say it, the world will begin to understand that it will not be business as usual. But when some pretend that all is well and go and sit and sing hallelujah to Mr. Paul Biya, then come in the night and say, no, you know, we are with you, and all of those things. You don't even do what they needful. Come out, give us information, give us the means to fight to free you. You want to just sit there, we are with you? No. Khalid Beyala says such people are never people to be taken seriously. That's what she says. Come out.
Tous autant que vous êtes, pour que le monde entier sache que vous ne voulez pas d'une passation de pouvoir entre père et fils au Cameroun, que ce n'est pas un royaume. Pour elle, il n'est plus question de se taire, puisque fait-elle savoir, nos dirigeants ont des immeubles partout, même au Qatar. Il faut donc dénoncer ce qu'elle qualifie de pilleurs. Et
So Khalid Beyala says the time to be silent is over. The time to be condescending is over. The time to just sit down and imagine that no, something happened is over. These are citizens of La République du Cameroon saying their country is hell on earth. And some people are insisting on tying us to it. If they had a choice, they will abandon that particular country. They are not like us who have a choice. And because we have a choice, because we did not have to belong in the first place, we must do everything possible to get out of this unholy arrangement. This is the message that I bring here today.
Ceux qui estiment qu'elle a aujourd'hui retourné sa veste, elle répond « Je ne peux pas retourner une veste que je n'ai jamais portée. » Heureusement que la grosse majorité des Camerounais savent ce que c'est qu'un écrivain, un esprit ouvert à tous.
Et la population.
So, Khalid Beyala has been clear. Very clear. My people, La République du Cameroon is hell. It is fire. Let us do everything it takes to take back our country. I heard a comrade in an audio saying the other day, I heard some people are talking about we are still looking for independence, want to go and get it from the United Nations. Of course, I've said here over and over, I've recalled to people about the independence vote that took place on April 21, 1961, at which the majority of the people in the General Assembly voted in favor of independence for Southern Cameroons. What we are doing today, we are seeking to take back our stolen country because the Republic of Cameroon turned around and started a gradual annexation project. And Paul Biya wasn't shy to talk about it in Paris when he told Mo Ibrahim on Motion Television that the ambition was to assimilate us, but it did not work as planned. Although he had gone ahead in 1984 to restore La République du Cameroon, and Fongoji Dinka went to court to restore the sovereignty of the Southern Cameroons. I still recall Justice Fombe of blessed memory. My heart goes out with you and your family. He was on the panel of judges that ruled and granted the prayer of Justice Fombe to restore the independence of the Southern Cameroons because La République du Cameroon has seceded from the Union. And they also granted his prayer to call the new country Ambazonia. That's why we're calling it Ambazonia today. So look at this trio of living ancestors. This trio of living ancestors who have vowed that until death takes them off, they will hold that country hostage. They are the ones responsible for all the evil exactions going on our territory. These living ancestors that you see. Yeah. Take a closer look at them. These living ancestors, look at each one of them. Nonagenarians, all of them. None of them can think against straight. None of them can even walk without being supported. But these are the people that are running La République du Cameroon and by extension wreaking havoc in Ambazonia. These living ancestors. My people of Ambazonia. And this culture is never going to end in La République du Cameroon. The only way we can extricate ourselves from it is make sure we send them out of our land. Restore our freedom. Restore our independence. Take back our stolen country. And settle down to make it also a heaven on earth like others. Oh my goodness. Look at other countries that just emerged from crisis yesterday. Cameroon is picking firewood behind them, miles upon miles away. Look at this other one. René Zengele. René Zengele yesterday was elected as the chairman of the youth committee at the Senate. As the chairman of the youth committee at the Senate. René Zengele first became minister in 1975. That's just 1 year after I was born. I'm not sure I was up to a year by the time he was appointed into government. In 1975 under Ahidjo. When I had grown up, I had gone to school, graduated from the Advanced School of Mass Communication, ASMA, in Yaoundé, and I was going to the Ministry of Communication for Integration. My minister, in 1998, January 1998, because I took service on January 9, 1998 at the Ministry of Communication. My minister was René Zengele. I said he was minister under Ahidjo just about a year after I was born. I grew up, went through primary education, secondary and high school, got to university, graduated as a senior civil servant, and I was getting into the public service. My minister, René Zengele. Today, how many years after? After serving for 19 years and being exiled now for 5 years, that's 24 other years. René Zengele is a senator. René Zengele, who is well above 80, if he's not already at 92. At the time in 1998, he was already finding it difficult to climb the stairways into his office at the Ministry of Communication. Today, he is a chairman of the Committee on Youth Affairs at the Cameroon Senate. I don't know what anybody wants me to hear again. Such an insane country. My dear people of Ambazonia, it's only pain that gets through my mind when I think of this kind of things, when I see this kind of things. That is why I have the habit of always saying, let us note that the battle we're involved in is the battle of our lives. This battle we're involved in is the battle of our lives. That is why it's easy to see Cameroonians who have reached their wits' end break down in this fashion.
Oh Seigneur Dieu, éternel, comment est devenu ce pays? Dieu viens nous en aide. Éternel, sauve le Cameroun.
Allow me to continue to, showcase my Amber Pride after we come away from that gentleman in tears. You can't believe it. And some people are there telling us, let us belong. Oh no. Look at this other gentleman. This one. Keep this image in your mind. Never forget this image again. Keep this picture closely. You can make a screenshot and keep it. Don't ever forget this face. This man is called Roger Melingi. A one-time minister delegate at the Ministry of Finance in charge of the budget. He hails from Essay in the Central region. Of course, I've been to Essay and saw the mansion that he built there. And that mansion, he couldn't even, take care of it at the time because he had just been dropped as minister delegate at the Ministry of Finance in charge of the budget when I went to visit Essay for the funeral of one of my colleagues at CITV at the time, Rosalie Aina. This man, Roger Melingi, is the man who closed down the National Produce Marketing Board. This is the man who put the final nail on the coffin of the National Produce Marketing Board. After they carted it from southern Cameroon, took the headquarters to Douala, and I think somebody had a quick passage there, but the person who internalized himself there and only left there when every single franc that could be found in that place was drained, was Roger Melingi. Today, Roger Melingi is a member of parliament. Today, he is even the president of the CPD and parliamentary group at the National Assembly. Roger Melingi. I said, this is the man. I'll start fishing them out one by one. This is the man who crushed the National Produce Marketing Board, which was the pride of our people, the pride of our agricultural sector, the pride of our farmers, and rendered thousands of families broke. People could no longer send their children to school because of Roger Melingi. This one is one of many of them who caused horrible exactions to southern Cameroonians, who destroyed the banking system in southern Cameroon and rendered our millionaires broke overnight. This Roger Melingi. It's one of them, and it's even the main one of them. We will have the opportunity to see many more of them like this one. Never let the image move from your eyes. And this should remind us constantly why we're involved in this liberation movement, why we really need to get away from these people. Yes, he is also one of those hawks that continue to encourage the government of La République du Cameroon to stay in our land and to commit these exactions that you are seeing. Now, this is Kumbo. This is Kumbo just after the self-defense volunteers dealt a deadly blow to Mr. Paul, their so-called professional army, to his thugs. Those thugs turned their attention onto the civilians, as they've always done. And when that woman that I described as a serpent, a snake in sheep clothing, when she came to talk, what did she do? She simply gave the impression that we were the ones causing ourselves the pain. We were the ones burning our own houses. We were the ones raising our own whole villages to dust. Shameless blacklegs. She did that. Look at it. This is Kumbo. And I was just talking to you a while ago about Ngomram. This is still Kumbo. Look at, and you can see the count there. They burnt down 11 bikes, as if those bikes represented the brave hearts that tortured them. They burned down, one taxi, destroyed 4 buildings, animal and food stores and everything burnt to ashes. This was just the first balance sheet that you could see. And after they do all this burning, all these destructions, at the same time they are telling us that they are carrying out reconstruction in our land. This morning, I forwarded this newspaper page to someone close to the Archbishop of Bamenda to share it with him and to share my thoughts with those who send this. Because he says here that reconstruction plan is building back better. Of all the thousands of houses that have already been burnt down in La République, in Ambazonia, by the talks of La République du Cameroon, how many have been reconstructed? From the moment they started talking about reconstruction, how many more villages have they burnt down? These exactions that you are seeing here in this same newspaper. Soldiers' blanket punishment after separatist attack leaves houses, bikes, shops in ashes. This was 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Yet they're talking reconstruction. They're talking about that madness of reconstruction. I have this one just coming into me now. And in fact, I will constantly appeal to our men and women of God from Ambazonia to know that we see what their likes are doing in Nigeria. They are rising up to condemn injustices and calling the thing as it is. We're seeing them all over the place. I know Cameroon is ruthless, but at the same time, you are a shepherd. You cannot abandon the sheep that you have been charged with shepherding at the time they need you to stand up for them most. I continue to make this clarion call. And I'm hoping that someday you all get up from sleep. As I was saying, I just got this press release come to me now. It's signed March 30, and it is signed Professor Ngomo Oras Manga, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Boya. Let's discover the content together. The way it was sent to me, I know it's the kind of demagogy that we expect at all times. He says the Vice Chancellor wishes to inform the University of Boya community and the general public that contrary to information circulating on different social media platforms, the persons whose corpses were seen in Monya were neither students nor members of the university community. Nonetheless, 2 students of the University of Boya, namely Ngule Linus Fonte of level 400 international relations, Ambazonian Pride, a level 600 students of public administration, were apprehended by the forces of law and order to assist them in the investigation of some terrorist activities. Unfortunately, Linus Bullet died whilst in custody. The university has been informed that an autopsy has been ordered to be carried out in the presence of the family to ascertain the cause of death. The other student, Jerez, however, is still in custody. Now, he doesn't tell us exactly why these students were captured. He claims, he says to assist them. That's what he says. He says to assist them, to assist them in their investigations of some terrorist activities. And then one died in custody. He doesn't say one was tortured to death, because that's what happened. He was tortured to death. And this press release is only coming after Barrister Tamfu, after Barrister Tamfu of the Tamfu and Co law firm sent a letter of information to the University of Boya, calling their attention to this and asking them to cooperate. That's where shamelessly they now come out to spew this trash. And what is the university saying about it? Just saying, oh, they have just given information and they're out there. No. This is who they are. Professor Ngomo Horace will tell you that, he's not justifying these killings, but he is shamelessly doing just that. And these are the people who come tomorrow and stand and be reminded that they are your elite, that they are our elite, that they are speaking for us. When they cannot stand for us, when they cannot for one single moment stand up there to say, no, this is a massive injustice and we can't accept it. Oh my goodness, we're on our own. Let us operate like people who know they are on their own. Let us continue to work together. Let us continue to avoid being more judgmental, and let us try to think. Let's be reflective, my people. I know thinking is difficult, and that's why most people judge. But let's try to depart from that. Let every single contribution we make to this liberation movement be tilted towards ensuring that we attain our objective of making Buya. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. To God be the glory, and I'll see you again over the weekend. Until then, goodbye.